What is up, guys? Jeffrey Wilson, right here with another episode of Everything Combat, because by God, life tends to be a fight. Riding shotgun with my homeboy, Patrick J. Militich, eater of worlds, trainer of champions, the first ever on this earth welterweight champion. How are we doing, champ?
On this earth.
On this flat earth, yes, I said it. Eddie Bravo, did you hear that? I'm fucking flat.
Yeah, we know it's not flat. But anyway, glad to be here and glad to pump up the upcoming Caged Aggression.
For sure.
Talking to some of the combatants in it, and we've got a local here tonight.
Absolutely. No stranger to the Caged Aggression cage. Did we find out what the number was, bro? 15, 16? Anyway, many times in the Caged Aggression cage, some very impressive performances. I think my man's on a 3-fight win streak. I believe that's what it is. Just dominant performances. Mm-hmm. It's so cool, man. Just watch these martial arts grow and just become just lethal beast. He has his hands full here coming up October 16th, closing the weekend out.
Tigre, Neal, train at Summit Training Center and Delph's Pro Gym. It's the big one, man. It's for the belts, for the championship. My career steps are building off this one right here. Comes from a great gym, one of the best gyms in the world. I watch his videos. I expect him to be tough. He comes at you. He comes forward. You know, he's got that 5-0 thing going. He's going to fight a seasoned vet this time, you know what I mean? So it's a big step for him.
Hey, what's up? My name is Montel Williams. I'm originally from Connecticut. I've been living in Las Vegas for the last 11 years and training out of Extreme Couture MMA. I'm a firm believer that I'm from the best team in the world. I have a gym full of killers. I'm extremely proud of the gym that I represent and where I'm from. I fought for a title before. I actually went all 5 rounds, so it's not something that I'm new to.
This sport's full of ups and downs in many ways. Losses come eventually, you know what I'm saying? So, and he hasn't felt that yet, and hopefully he's mentally prepared to feel that because it's coming.
No matter if it goes 1 minute or 25, I'm going to be in this dude's face the whole time.
I don't want no decisions. I'm not going to play it safe. I'm coming in there to kill or be killed every single time.
Irrespective of it being a title, I'm bringing the same energy to the fight.
He's going to feel the crowd. He's going to feel the noise. He's going to feel this is my city, and that's where he's at.
It energizes me to hear a crowd booing me and cheering for the other person, and I like to send all their fans home very disappointed.
This one is it. This one's it right here. I plan on being somewhere after this, guaranteed.
He's going to be there until the end and is not going to stop fighting.
It's going to be fireworks, man. It's going to be fireworks.
I see myself being victorious. I'm ready to bang.
Bring the smoke in the cage October 16th, but with all due respect, that night you're getting smoked.
Catch that at cagedaggression.tv if you can't be here in the Quad Cities. He is El Tigre, Neal, joining us today. What's up, brother?
Not much, man. Thanks for having me back. What's going on?
Absolutely. Looking very comfortable in the studio here, man. You know, last time, was it the first time, right? This is your second time here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. How's the camp going, brother?
It's going good, man. You know, training hard every day, you know, stay on a pretty strict schedule all the time in and out of camp. So, I mean, it's going well. I like where I'm at right now.
Without a doubt. Any questions for Josh?
Well, I was going to point out the Bears garb. You know, he's obviously a Chicago Bears fan. And for me, I grew up disliking the Bears greatly because my father was a huge Bears fan, and he'd drink like 20 Budweisers on Sundays watching the Bears, and the Bears always lost, and then he beat the shit out of the kids.
Wow.
Oh, man. That ain't good. That ain't good, but...
We digress.
The Bears will make you drink, yeah.
It's absolutely... Yeah, that's they did win last week though, right?
Oh no, it was the worst performance of the season.
Oh, that's right. All right, I'm sorry. We digress. So the camp's going good. Weight cut's going good.
Yeah, going on point. You know, it's on point. Everything's on point right now, man. You know, a couple weeks out, I'm right where I want to be. Ready.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, we just actually had interviewed. I don't know how this will be posted, but you know, in chronological order. But we just had a conversation with Montel Williams Jr. Sounds like a really cool cat. Mm-hmm. Anything that you've seen on him? I think he is 5-0. I think 4 of them wins came by decision. I think 1 by knockout. How's he look to you, man? Sizing him up.
Looks like a gamer. He looks like he's ready to fight. You know, like I've said before, comes from a great gym, world-class gym down there in Vegas, and. What I've seen is he's a guy that's coming to fight. He's a guy that's coming to bring it. He's undefeated for a reason. And he's got some slick setups, you know, that we've had to take eye on and, you know, train with, but or train for. But with that, it's nothing I haven't seen before, you know. I'm seasoned, I feel.
Well, and he did mention, and I'm not saying this to talk shit because you'll see it, you know, in the interview, and he says it. He's like, no, absolutely no disrespect to you. He does train at Extreme Couture. So he said, Josh doesn't train with the beast I train with. But you're saying he's not going to be able to present anything to you haven't seen.
Correct. I don't believe so. I mean, I've fought guys from top gyms before, you know. Yeah, you're in there with beasts, but when it comes down to a fight, you know, I've been in many of those in and out of a cage. I know how to fight.
What do you think about that, Pat? You had said in I think one of our last episodes, it's, you know, you could come from have a certain succession of maybe 6-0, 7-0, but it's all about who you fought. Does that make what Josh just alluded to is training with a bunch of beasts different than fighting beasts?
Well, I mean, they both count, but
Yeah.
you've got to also take into consideration when you train with people who are way better than you, it's either going to make you better or it's going to give you a sparring partner complex, right? So that there's kind of a double-edged sword there where guys never get better because they're used to getting the shit kicked out of them, and they just don't think they can ever get good enough. You know what I mean? It just psychologically, it depends on what you do with it, right? But in the cage is when it definitely, it helps also, and I think just as much, because when the pressure's on and you're up against quality opponents and you've had a lot more experience, it definitely helps, going into a fight.
Absolutely. Iron sharpens iron. And like I said, you're no stranger to the cage, and I know you train with some beasts as well. There's a very small window for a fighter. And, I mean, you're still a very young man. You're stacking up just very impressive wins. The future for Josh Neal, not to look past your opponent, but just, even outside of this fight, what do you see your future in mixed martial arts?
Like you said, first and foremost, nowhere looking past October 16th.
For
but
sure.
In a perfect world, it will be, win this belt on October 16th, and bam, I'm right there on Dana White's Contender Series. That's what I'm shooting for. That's what I'm going for. And if that don't happen, then I'm looking to PFL as well. You know what I'm saying? After this fight, I'm looking for that next step. I think it's time in my life. I think it's time to happen.
When you have grown, the promotion's grown. We've seen, like I said, so many people come from, Bellator, LFA, UFC to here, and we've seen people go onto, whether it's Eric Showtime Shelton. We just saw Brandon Jenkins, who had an impressive performance against Caged Aggression vet Jordan Hinman. He just went to PFL, and because of circumstances, he wound up getting into a fight for the UFC. Came up short, but he was still on Dana's radar. So, I mean, like I said, with the impressive performance you've been stacking up, I could definitely see that happening. Champ, any questions?
Well, I was down at the gym today. I was watching the guys train, and Junior's running practice down there, and of course he's got a ton of experience. And that generation of fighters just after Junior, which is kind of Josh and the rest of those guys, was kind of as I was kind of transitioning to full-time TV and doing law enforcement and military stuff. But it was nice to see Junior in there coaching those guys and pointing out techniques and just positioning and what they need to do to get out of those positions. So it's fun to see that MMA is still flourishing here in the Quad Cities. So
It's built a champion or two.
a few. Yes.
So you had mentioned, you guys, and I kind of maybe ask this too much, but I always wonder like how you guys analyze your opponent. And you said, obviously you're looking at certain tendencies, you're looking at certain things he does without giving away your game plan. He feels his wrestling base is going to be what's going to dominate the fight for him. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, a lot of people I fought during my amateur career and my pro career now have thought the same thing, and more times than not, it ain't went well for them. So, I'm used to that. I'm used to that game plan from my opponent. I'm used to them, testing it out a little bit on the feet and then wanting to take it elsewhere. But like I said, I've trained years. I've trained, every single day for anywhere in a fight. I'm confident with my abilities anywhere. And so if he wants to take it there, well, he's going to have his hands full there as well.
Nice. Well, and again, not to look past him, part of, I don't know, you're a veteran of the cage. Clearly, you've been training a long time. You've been fighting a long time. And again, I probably asked this too much as well. You've grown. The promotion's we're a global promotion. We might broadcast regionally, but it's a global promotion with the worldwide pay-per-views. Does that does that do anything to your game plan, or is it just another day at the office?
No, it actually makes me more excited. I finally got friends outside of the U.S. or in other states that can watch this instead of looking up clips on Facebook. They support me, and I appreciate all of them. So really, it just makes me more excited. It makes me want to go out there and do even better.
Well, and again, you can order the fight through CagedAggression.tv. You can go to Josh Neal, click that referral code, and order it through him. And he said, it's been very helpful for all these fighters, man. It just helps bridge that gap, especially when we were in COVID and the gate wasn't as full as it was. You guys can make a little bread through your referral code. Any final parting shots to your opponent? Anything you want to say to our fans and people watching all over the world?
Just to everybody, you know what to expect with me, man. It's a fight every single time. And I turn it into a dog fight every time. And like I've said it before, when I get in that dog fight, I'm the big dog. So you know what's going to happen October 16th.
Well, and he definitely said, and he's very mindful of your ability like a croc to take you into the deep waters and drown your ass. So he knows he's got to have his cardio up because like you said many times, that's oftentimes the test of a fighter. What is it? I forget who said it. Fatigue makes cowards out of men. And I've talked to Pat many times about how the military fighting system made sure your tank was full. And that's something that obviously is not a problem for you. So he's he's definitely, hopefully, getting his cardio on because you are definitely capable to take him in them deep waters.
Yeah. Hopefully he is, because you know what's coming, man. You know, if he ain't taking me out, he's got a long night ahead. Pack a lunch, buddy.
Whoa, you heard it first right here.
The thing, I'll just point
go
out
ahead.
real quick before we jump off that, I had a talk with Sean West. It's been some time ago. But I said, I'm impressed with you guys, Josh, you, Eric, some of the other guys, that you guys stepped up, as, I kind of spun out of the coaching role into other things that I was doing. And those guys stayed at it and kept training and got better and got better and got better. And it's kind of cool to see that they just said, shit, we got to do this on our own. And they did, and it's nice to see that they've done that with Junior and the other guys, where they just said, we're the ones, we got to carry the torch now. So then they have done that.
Well, and it's bred a whole new generation of warriors, man, as we see before us. And like you said, the Midwest, Davenport, Quad City area is no shortage of pumping out warriors. So that is cool that you kind of gave a tip of the cap to those guys. El Tigre, Josh, Neal, anything else you want to say? Any social networking you want to shout out so people could follow you? Or are you just in fight mode right now?
Social media, Instagram, El Tigre 309, Facebook, Josh Neal, Twitter. I want to say it's El Tigre 155, something like that.
That's all right. They'll find you. They'll find you.
Yeah.
Well, all the best to you, man. October 16th, he's going to be facing Montel Williams Jr. to close out that weekend in the main event of the evening. I appreciate your time, man. I know you guys are really locking down, especially we're 2 weeks out. So I appreciate you taking the time, and hope rest of the training goes well. I'm sure it's going to go well, and we will see you on Saturday, brother.
Absolutely, man. Can't wait.
El Tigre, ladies and gentlemen, chilling with the champ. Peace.